Hi, my name is Inga Brewer, and this video is for you if you struggle with money. If you can't seem to make more, if you can't seem to spend less, and if you're up to your ears in debt, listen up. My name is Inga Brewer, and I'm interested in finding the mind-body solutions to common problems. Now, what really makes me tick is helping beautiful, loving, smart young women uncover their conditioning, uncover the stuck emotions, so that they can live a life that is more abundant, more free, and full of the things that they truly want, whether that's more money, relationships, or health. So tell me, how do you feel about money? Most people will feel anxious, fearful, sad, depressed, and the common reaction is to just sort of stick your head in the sand about it. Now, I'm an expert at this. For the last, all my early 20s, I totally had an ostrich response to money. I had the feeling that it wasn't mine, I didn't have any, so might as well just spend, and all the bank statements that came in went straight into a drawer, never opened. I sort of just put money into the credit card account, hoping that it would be enough. And whenever someone would try to teach me about good money management skills, I'd get so crazy emotional and I'd freak out. I'd totally freak out. It was a terrible time for me in that respect. And after a long time of doing this, I realized, wow, this has got to stop. My reactions around these are completely insane, like crazy town. And I really need to do something. And it was over a process. It was over a couple of years that I was in the spiritual circles, and every once in a while this notion would come up to look at your money and to look at all the emotional stuff around money, around the way your parents dealt with money and how you are wired to function with money. Now, at first when I saw these, I did not like that. My head went even further into the sand. But I kept seeing them, and at some point, I don't know what happened, but something clicked. I think it got so painful, so bad, and my debt was starting to get so high that I really needed to do something. So I started studying, I started learning, I started reading a ton of books. And what I really learned and became really aware of is that it's not the rational brain that makes money decisions. It's the emotional brain. It's the part of your brain that gets conditioned with emotional responses. It's what you pick up from your parents when you're young. It's the beliefs that circulate around you in your society. It's your early experiences around money that really, really shape exactly how you're going to deal with money in the future. How much debt you're going to have, how much you're going to save, how much you're able to spend on the things you truly value. Now, I want to tell you a little story about one thing that I uncovered, a memory that I find really illustrates how the emotions we can live as a young person can really affect us for years and years and years to come, until we become really aware of it and do some work to unpattern that and to unstick that sort of response. So this story is from when I was 6 years old. I would get some pocket money from my parents, and it wasn't a lot. It was maybe 25 cents a week. But I loved getting it every week, and I loved putting it in my little piggy bank. And I was so good with it. I'd put it in there, and my sister and I would go to the grocery store with my mom, of course, and we'd look for all the coins, and we'd put it in our piggy bank so you can see. I was really setting myself up for becoming a good saver. Now, it was a good setup, but something happened. One day, coming home from school, I couldn't wait to go into my piggy bank and count how much money I had. Really liked math and counting. And so I really liked how heavy my piggy bank felt. I loved the counting. I loved that it was more than last week. But that one fateful afternoon, I come home and I take up my piggy bank and it was lighter and it was empty and there was no ching 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 when I shook it, and I was in a panic and a frenzy and I couldn't understand, and it was a horrible experience. I was angry. And then I open the little thing on the bottom and I look in and I see this stupid piece of paper. And it said, I owe you 47 cents. Signed, Mama. Now, 47 cents, we're all going to agree it's not a lot, but it was a lot of coins. And I was so mad that it just disappeared, and I'm yelling and screaming, and I didn't understand at all what IOU meant. To me, she had stolen my money. She had taken it away from me. And credit for a 6-year-old, if it's explained that way, does not work, no matter how smart you are. So to me, my money was stolen. Now my mom comes into the room and she's like, whoa, what's going on here? And so, she explains super gently and nicely, and she really validates that, oh yeah, that's a horrible experience to have that go. But what I was doing is I was just borrowing your money and I was going to put it back later. I just needed to borrow money because someone came by and I really needed change, and I looked everywhere and I could only find it in your piggy bank. So I'm so grateful to you that you helped me. My 6-year-old brain was still in panic mode. It would have none of it. It didn't understand. It didn't want to understand. In my brain, it was, you stole from me and you're a horrible person and I can never save my money again because it's never going to be safe. That's my conclusion. Now, on top of that, she even offered to give me back a full $1 instead, which is a crazy good return on my one day borrowing. But no, again, my brain would have none of it. Could have gone the other way. I could have learned saving is great. You double your money really fast. But I learned, no, saving is the worst. Someone bigger can come along. You feel duped. You feel horrible. You feel like you're stolen from. You feel helpless. And that is how I operated with money for the next 20 years. Oh shit. The next 20 years, that's how I operated around money. I would refuse to save. I never felt like my money was my own, that it was, I never felt like it was safe anywhere. And that's how I concluded that I was going to operate around money. And so when I remembered this story, I laughed because it's really cute and really simple and really stupid. And then I did the work I did some tapping on myself, I did some compassionate listening to that old 6-year-old in me, and I was able to release that. And since then, I've been saving and paying off my debts and doing pretty good around money. And of course, there's a lot more that was uncovered, but that's what I want to bring to you. I want to bring to you that there's little moments in your childhood and the ways your parents fought about money and the ways your parents dealt with it that are all programmed in that same place as my 6-year-old brain that haven't budged since, and that are still affecting how you're dealing with your money today. And now I want to bring you to, if you understand that, if you fully grasp that your money isn't a rational process, but more of an emotional brain process, where energetic blockages come into account, old emotions come into account, and all of that really determines how much money you're going to make and keep. Wouldn't it be worth it to uncover? Wouldn't that be worth it to look at? Now, my biggest goal is to keep holding you to a higher standard, and that means holding you to a standard of more abundance. And something in our circle, in the spiritual circle, says, oh, well, wanting money is bad, and Money isn't spiritual, but I really want to challenge that. Money just amplifies who you are. And if you are a great, loving, and smart, and beautiful person, like I know you are, then you with more money is just you with more impact. And that's what I really want for our life. So, life together as a community. So, your call to action is to sit down and brainstorm on what I just told you. What could be impacting your money? What could be happening? Now you can do that alone, or you can click the link below and we can do it together. And it's a fun process. It's a hard one, but it's so liberating to know where it stems from and how we can change it. Now the call is just going to be uncovering, just looking at it, and often that's enough. Now, if you want to do more work than that, we'll talk about it. There may be some programs coming up that I'm really excited about, and some sessions that we can work through this together with all the mind-body techniques that I have in my tool belt. And we can blast through that and get you to more abundance. So I can't wait to talk with you. I can't wait to see you, and I can't wait for you to be more abundant. See you soon.